Welcome to the 2021 Economic Depression and Preparation Channel. I'm your host, Tony. Thank you for joining me on this weekend edition, September 10th, 2021 here. Everyone is gearing up for TGIF. Thank God it's Friday moment. And despite all the challenges and things that we face economically, socially, spiritually, and mentally, we're still here. We're still alive in the land of the living. So we are blessed individuals, men, women, boys, and girls. So today I want to talk to you about just briefly about the inflation increasing and also about the threats increasing on the homeland here as we commemorate the September 11th weekend here. 20 years since September 11th. And then we also ended the longest war in history with Afghanistan. The threats that remain with this economy, and things are just going to get absolutely worse. It's not going to get better, but at the same time, with faith, prayer, work, and commitment to each other, we'll of course be able to make it through. Always, so we're positive in that sense. I'm positive in that sense on this channel. Even though the news may seem a little bit negative, there is still bright futures and a positive hope, and something that's every day. There's something to be thankful for, to smile about. Thank you for your support. Please be sure to subscribe. Now let's get right into it, ladies and gentlemen. We have two more factors popped up with the Fed's inflation worries here. Listen, the Fed knows that inflation is going to run hot. They are not surprised. They're going to let this thing run hot, okay? Home prices, consumer expectations pointed to more inflationary issues on the horizon, according to CNBC.com. Inflation is going to be rising. Home prices are still, the median home prices went above $370,000 for a new single-family home, and that's across the country. We also have, at the same time, mortgage rates that are going to be rising. But it's not just the home and mortgage rates are rising. We also going to have more things that's going to be damaging this economy. And the Federal Reserve has made a commitment that they're going to make commitment to Wall Street, but not Main Street. Even if Main Street doesn't exist, Wall Street, they're going to take care of the stock market, but they're not going to take care of Main Street, you and I and everybody else in this economy. This is the commitment that they've made, unfortunately. And, Democrats are pushing this $3.5 trillion stimulus package. So President Biden has gone quiet about that. He said they're meeting on the 17th of this month. But, ladies and gentlemen, this is going to be absolutely damaging to this economy because we have to print up more money. In addition to all the efforts to fight coronavirus, we've already spent $6 trillion fighting, $6 or $7 trillion fighting the coronavirus pandemic through paying the vaccine companies, paying all these people and everything, and for research and development, or R&D as they call it. And now we're adding $3.5 trillion infrastructure package, which a lot of that money is going to be wasted. It's not going to go. Some of it's going to go to infrastructure. Yes, the roads, the bridges, and updating the internet for the rural areas in America. But listen, guys, a lot of that money is going to be wasted in pork barrel money and legislation for each state, as you know, and these senators and stuff. So that's just the truth. So that's already 10 or 11 trillion that President Biden will have spent in his first year or second year in office. First year, barely. So who's going to pay for all of this? And it's going to be absolute disaster. The Republicans are saying the same thing, but at the same time, it's two sides of the same coin. The Democrats and Republicans. The Republicans are looking at spending money in other ways. They spent 21 years in Afghanistan and war and the defense budget and all of that, and that just broke the country financially too as well. So it's two sides of the same coin. Democrats, Republicans, independents, you name it. The politicians are out for themselves and the money, as you know. The last thing Americans need right now is trillions and more government spending that drives up prices, kills jobs, and wastes our hard-earned tax dollars, says Representative Kevin Brady, a Texas Republican. Well, the thing about it is that we can't stop spending. America cannot stop spending. We live in a debt-based economy. When the minute the first dollar was issued without backed by gold, that meant that it was an IOU note. You ever heard the saying, it takes money to make money? All of us have to go into debt to make money, whether it's buying real estate or buying land or buying oil, gold, silver, crypto, you name it. We have to give something in order to get something, and that takes time, But unfortunately, we've gone to an era now where spending has gone out of control, and it's basically leading to an economic crash, because in this crash is going to be worldwide. Unfortunately, this is a once-in-a-generation crash that's going to be happening very soon, probably another 2 or 3 years, because like I said, in 2023 is when the Fed said they're going to just take off all the training wheels, supposedly. But I think it's going to be after President Biden gets out of office in 2024. When things are really going to get bad, in that middle 2024, 2025, 2026, that middle transition period where we're moving away from a capitalism, democratic society, and more into what many of you have called a technocratic, a totalitarianism, or even a fascism, kind of like a hybrid type of government, a worldwide type of government that we're going to. Because you notice all of the countries are doing the same thing. All of the countries are spending massive money that they're printing up. All of the countries are in heavy debt, with the United States leading the way, of course. And China's the new superpower, and they're not exactly a democratic nation. Well, I'm not knocking them. I'm not bringing down anybody from any country. I'm just saying that there's different forms of government, okay, that we have, and the freedoms that we have are losing the ground to this new system of government and new way of doing things. That's all I'm gonna say about that. Now, 20 years after 9/11, our biggest threat comes from within. First of all, thank you to all of our service members, those who are still serving and those who have served, our veterans. God bless you, for the years you've served, your tours in Afghanistan, Syria, Iraq, you name it, enduring freedom, you've done it all. God bless you. And we thank you. But now we have the Homeland. We have threats on the Homeland, according to this piece here by Paul Brandis. 2001, the U.S. was rocked by Islamist terrorism. Today, extremism at home is a bigger threat. And it's more so the divisions. The rich people have divided us between those who are vaxxed, those who are unvaxxed, those who are liberal, those who are conservative, those who are Republican, Democrat. So many divisions in this country. And this is what's going to break when you can't get the basic necessities, okay? You heard of Maslow's hierarchy of needs, okay? In psychology, in school, they talk about this. But when people can't get the basic necessities, that's when the real conflict is going to be happening. When there's shortages in food, water, medicine, clothes in the winter, things that you're used to getting every day, because Americans will become spoiled. We've been, not only us, but we've been people in the Western world and in Europe too as well, in Australia and other countries, most developed nations in the G20, G8 world have become spoiled. When they can't get the goods and services when people can't get the goods and services that they used to get in a timely manner, meaning within a week or two or whatever, when it starts taking months to get this stuff, that's when things are going to hit the fan, and people are going to become more extreme, more desperate, okay? And the government is not going to be able to set up enough camps, enough centers to give people all these services in a timely fashion. It's going to be chaos, because you have to remember, you say it's only 350 million people that live in America compared to other countries that have 1 billion like China, 1 billion like India, 1 billion like Africa, the whole continent. But 350 million people, you have to think about that and say to yourself, well, what if the supply chain never comes back to pre-COVID corona levels, which is not, okay? That's a lot of people to feed. That's a lot of people to clothe. That's a lot of people to house, okay? So there's going to be a lot of crime is going to continue to go up. And now that they are, the children understand that the crime is going to go up and they're going to be home by themselves because mothers and parents are working, trying to make ends meet more and more, it's going to be an absolute disaster. So this conflict that you're seeing in the homeland is why President Biden has decided to bring back troops from Afghanistan because it was too expensive, but also bring back troops home because the homeland is going to be the next conflict. And I wanted to ask you this question, guys. Do you think there's been some talk on these other prepper channels about a civil war in America happening? I want to know your thoughts on that. Do you think another civil war in America can happen based on this type of extremism on both the left and right side? There is no coming together. And also, so do you think that is possible? This economy, it goes into a depression, and we can't get, we go into a cashless society, but people need cash or bartering to transact. Will you think there'd be a civil war in America? And what would that look like? What would the next civil war in America look like, 21 years after this attack on that we had on 9/11? I want to know your thoughts on that, because I think there's a very possibility that it could happen here in America on the homeland. And a lot of people are saying that that's what they're gearing up for. It's going to be absolutely incredible to see, because there's no doubt there's been a collapse on both sides in government in DC and other places where people are out just for themselves, whether it's politicians or people on the street. This is going to be disastrous here. And I want to know your opinion on that. I think there's a chance that it could be, but it won't be like, all out Mad Max, but it will be definitely a war on the streets between these counties, cities, states, not doing what the federal government wants. And it's just going to be unbelievable to see. But this is what the times we're living in nowadays, where you can walk out your house and, you could be minding your own business and somebody could be shooting at you just because of road rage or whatever. This is the times we live in. People are really stressed out about everything, and rightfully so, because a lot has been hidden from them in the news and the media as to what's really going on with the whole America as we know it. So be blessed, everyone. Have a great weekend. Definitely be sure to subscribe. I will talk to you very soon. Thank you for listening and supporting me today. And I'll talk to you very soon once again. Have a great one.